Are you in it now? I just switched it, so it should switch over in a second. Test, test. Yep, good. Okay. Sweet. All right. Well, it's not. It's only a minute out. We'll give it a little bit more time, see if anybody else rolls in. Usually we start at like maybe 5 after-ish. So just hang in there a few more minutes for me, guys. And let's see. Get started here. You guys have anything ready to make? Get started making.
I've been working on this like an antique sewing machine.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be the first thing I'll bring in and see if the big size is missing.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, man?
Certainly.
No, you're fine. We're we kind of wait a little bit to hang out anyway. So this is just a streaming computer. Just you don't have to worry about it. So that's the mic. So you're going to be the loudest there. And we'll just give it a few more minutes before we get started. See if anybody else is done.
How's it going, y'all?
Going on?
Not too much.
D, what you been working on, man?
I've been working on building a new PC.
Nice.
Yep. Just ordered all my parts, so I'm hoping I get them before all these tariffs come down on my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying to get a wider view, but all we got is you guys. So.
Yeah. Should I put out a quick message?
No, it's fine. I already put one out.
Okay. All right.
I was trying to get a wider view of the camera, but just like getting these people.
Okay.
All right, we'll just go ahead and get started. I think we got enough people here. So today is April 15th, 2025. This is the membership meeting. If you guys can, go ahead and go to FamiLAB.org/sign-in. You can do it on your phone, just to kind of check in for this meeting, so that way we can kind of get a head count of, who's here. It helps us when we, go to show off, and, like the city or something, if we want money or something from them. They're like, look, we actually have attendance. So yeah, go ahead and do that for me. In the meantime, all attendees online, please mute your mics, and then just raise your hand. We'll come to you if you need to say anything. Anybody in here, just remember when you're talking, if multiple people talk, that speaker doesn't really pick up, so all of the audio, so they don't get to hear everything. So basically, if you need something, just kind of flag me down. I'll see what you need. Let's see. All right. So we'll get started. On the membership changes for the financial update. Did you guys get this? Yeah, you have to accept the security certificate. We haven't fixed that yet with the website.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's l.familylab.org/sign-in. Membership updates. We have 59 full-paying members and 18 special cases. We believe we might be one off on it. We might actually be at 60. No, I'm not sure. I think we're missing something there, but I think it's close to accurate. Unfortunately, we didn't get time. Everybody's been pretty busy, so we didn't get time to pull the numbers this month. But we will say last month we were down, well, because of donations it equaled out. But technically, if we go by what last month was, we haven't had any crazy bills pop up this month, so we're probably still negative about 500. Not 100% sure on that, but yeah, we can get the numbers posted later for anybody that actually wants to see them and whatnot. We do need about 10 more members until we get to the black. Once we get there, then we're a lot better off. We're a lot more stable. Not that we're going to close anytime soon, but we are slowly eating through the savings as we, are in the red every month. So, but since we're not that bad off and we are getting donations recently, I just pulled donations out of the donation box. Kind of helps us equal out. But getting that membership to cover the due, or getting the membership dues to cover everything, that's really our goal. Then everything else is just extra that can go into the lab. So keep that in mind when you guys are talking about it with friends or family or whatever. Just keep in mind if it's something cool they want to do, bring them by. Always bring them by, like just for a tour or whatever. You're free to give them a tour as well. So rent has increased, and that's one of the reasons that we are so far in the negative now, even though after we moved. Rent increased by $300, which we kind of knew this was going to happen anyway. We just weren't sure how much. Basically, it's kind of hard to explain, but because of the insurance, the way the insurance works, our first year we basically didn't have to pay insurance. Now we're paying the difference between what the landlord paid last year and what is due this year. So we paid like the difference. So.
It shows your Mac is on. But I don't know if it's.
No, it's fine. They're hearing me through that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's there. That's for I'm streaming it. It's hard to explain. There's like 3 computers.
It's fine.
It's like 3 computers involved just to get this thing going. But yeah. So yeah, that's one of the downsides is our insurance is a little bit more this year. Hopefully it'll start to go down, but insurance just kind of like spiked this year. I'm sure you all know it went through the roof. Hopefully it doesn't increase as much next year. Or the other thing is if it decreases, then we pay less. So it's kind of a fluctuation that I would use. All right, moving on. Board, just like we always talk about, all the current board members are still continuing. We talked about this last month, but we are still short board members. The ones that are here are quite busy, and one of them's even in Chicago now. So it's best that we have 7. Right now we have 4. And like I said, most of them are pretty busy. So if you're ever interested in joining the board, please let us know. We can talk to you about it and explain what there is to do. It's not, in the past, it was kind of like if you want to leave FamiLAB, join the board because you would end up rage quitting, but it's really not as bad as it used to be. In fact, it's more, we're trying to put more work on operations. So if you're more want to do hands-on things around the lab, fix things, clean things up, help promote the lab, that's operations side. The board is a little bit more just like paperwork and like the legal signing of paperwork. So let us know if you're interested in that. We would love to have more people on the board. It also helps when making decisions on things, like one thing we'll talk about later, the sign, or how money's spent, or if we're going to do stuff in Maker Faire and things like that. A lot of that is board related. So current board, all of us, because we all started at the same time, essentially, our first term is up at the end of beginning of next year. So March, I think March is when we do it. March of next year, everybody basically would term out. Now we get 2 terms if people want to continue on. But as busy as they are, they're kind of most of us now are really just here because we need bodies here. We need people to be on the board. So next year it may not be the same thing. I don't think I'm going to be able to continue on next year, but we will see. So just consider that when you're considering being on the board. Know that we may need people next year at the very minimum. And the way it works, not to go off completely on the board topic, but the way it works is we can pull anybody in. Right now we're down members, so we're down 3 members essentially. We can have at least 7. We can pull members in. So say you want to join today, we can pull you in as a board member. It doesn't really count towards your term, but at the end of this year, or at the end of this cycle, basically, you would either have to rejoin or start a term, get voted in. Because we don't have that many people, I did the air quotes on the voted part. If there's not enough people to compete, then you're just on the board. That's just how it goes. If people want you off, they can always vote you off. So, but anyway, like I said, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just more of it helps for meetings, bodies, and opinions on what we should do with the lab. Housekeeping. Dust collection. We have got it about 70% now. Justin and I have been working on it quite a bit the last couple of days, and it's pretty awesome. I don't know if you guys saw the post in Slack where we opened it and it shut on its own. I think Kyle found a quick fix for us for that. So it does actually function now. It's just that the pipes aren't coming down to each thing. And we also need to install the start button because right now you have to kind of lean down, press back behind it to start it, but it does work. So we're going to finish that up soon, hopefully within the next week or so, I would think. Depends on Justin's schedule and my schedule. Or if anybody wants to help out with that, let us know. That would be great. We can meet up here and do it. I think right now is planning out what parts are going to go where and things like that. Because we got the main run, we got all the blast gates in. So. The floor sweep does work though, and it works pretty good. So there's that. A lot of our computers are getting out of age. October is when Windows 10 is getting cut off. Doesn't necessarily mean that we absolutely have to be off Windows 10 by then, but it would be wise to do it, especially as a business. Kyle had donated his business had donated a couple computers, or his company that he works for donated a couple computers to us, quite a few actually. So we're going to be going through that and probably replacing some of these computers. If you want to take part in that, let us know. We need help with that. Either myself or probably Kyle could point you in the right direction on what to do and what we need done. But yeah, that'll be cool. And then we might have some leftovers for giving away the members or auctioning off. I don't know what we're going to do yet with them. I just know that there's more than what we really need for the lab. So go office space on. With that, yeah, go office space on, take them out back, and just if you had a bad day, get you a hammer and just random metal pipe back there. Let me see. If these are going to be replaced. One thing Justin noticed lately is he wanted to mention, please lower the saw blades and put cords back and whatnot. Our space is very small this time. It's not the 6,500 square or 6,000 square foot that we had before. It's 2,500. So as you leave things out or leave blades up on the table saw, it can be dangerous. They can be tripping hazards. They can be slicing your finger open hazards. So please make sure you're cleaning up after yourself and putting those saw blades away. Anything that can potentially hurt somebody, especially make sure that that gets done. Just the picture. We also want to organize another cleaning day. hopefully sooner than later, because I may be becoming very, very busy soon. If I'm buying a house and property and it's far away. So what we're thinking, I think Justin was probably thinking we're gonna figure out a day and just put it out there and see who wants to join us. General cleaning and organization. It's nothing big. It's not like, not too crazy. I think we do want to do some painting, like maybe this fall, because when you look at it, the paint didn't match completely. But other things, like I think there's stuff in the FamiLAB and things like that we want to get done. But nothing that you need really any kind of contractor skill to do, just mostly cleaning and straightening up, organizing. Which, shout out to Kyle, I shout out in Slack. He did do a ton of organizing back there and it looks amazing. Thank you, Kyle. But yeah, feel free to do it anytime, or if you want to join in on that, let us know. Put your name on the list when we figure out the day. We'll let everybody know. Probably be a Saturday, most likely. Justin, are you available to talk on any of that, or?
Yeah, you covered it though pretty well. I just joined, so I don't know if I missed anything, but yeah, I just think there's a few handful of things left to do out there. So if we could get to it, that'd be great. I think a good weekend, a few people, much easier than one or two people trying to do it in the evenings.
Cool. All right, moving on. Maker Fair's in November. I know it's still kind of far away, but we try and talk about it every meeting from the time Maker Fair ends to the time Maker Fair starts again. Which is because Maker Fair is it's people like us, makers and tinkerers and geeks and nerds. We all gather at Maker Fair, so that's how we're going to get more members in, and that's how we're just going to meet cool people. So we do have a presence at Maker Fair every year. I know a few of you are new, so we'll go over it real quick. We do have a presence at Maker Fair. We usually have a table set up. What we're trying to do this year is get a bigger presence. Last couple of years, we only had a single table due to people not being able to help out too much. But if we can get a long couple tables together and just show off the stuff that's either made in the lab, or if you have something specific that you're working on. Good example is there was a guy that he would make the lightsabers, and so he would bring them every year. And we were going to have one year have a table of just him and his lightsabers set up. If that's what you want, if you got something that you could do that, feel free. Building a recreator for it. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. It's basically a machine that makes filament out of bottles by slicing them down and then folding it over. So I'm going to have that on display. Probably a few other things. I think Katie's making the clock that I had on display last year. We're going to remake that thing, make it so hopefully it'll last through the whole weekend, because the gears kind of stripped out on us last year. But people love that kind of stuff, that interactive stuff. That stuff gives us a lot of attention. And even just, we don't necessarily need those people to be like, oh, I'm going to sign up today. Just getting our name out there and letting them know that we're around. That's the biggest thing. Plus, it's just fun to show off that stuff at Maker Fair. It's really cool. So yeah, if you have something, even if you don't have something, but you want to attend Maker Fair, we also need people to help run the booth. So for instance, at Recreator, I'm not going to be able to sit there and watch that the whole time. In fact, this last year, I basically walked around and talked to people most of the whole day, just trying to network. So yeah, we do need people around the booth as well. I know it's a little bit off for that, but in the meantime, if you have a cool project that you want to build, you want to show off, again, especially if it's interactive, that would be best. We have members that have been willing to donate so that we can fund up to $500 for projects for Maker Fair. So if you have something, but you're on a tight budget and you're like, well, I got to order all these different parts and whatnot, let us know what that project is, how you're going to complete it, and all that kind of stuff. Just kind of give us a quick rundown and how much you need, and we can go over it with the board and see if we want to fund it for you. Because again, Maker Fair is our #1 presence thing. It's basically how we get most of our I want to say activity, but most of getting our name out there is from that, because we don't do much else, right? So keep that in mind. And like I said, if you have a project or you have an idea of a project, send it over to us, and we'll definitely review it. And by sending that over, you can either email board@familab.org or just hit us up in Slack. If you do board at, then I'll tag everybody for board, or is it at board? I did that backwards somewhere. Yeah, I think it's at board. And then, or just, hit up myself, Justin, Matthew, or Johan. All right, moving on. Workshops, open house. I don't know what this was about. Is it just asking for workshops and open houses, Justin?
Sorry, yeah, just mentioning we've kind of stabilized on what we have for workshops. Right now, we'd love to have some more, and then of course our open houses. So if you can attend them, it's always good to have some more members doing stuff during open houses.
Right. Good examples. Town's back there doing some woodworking stuff. So if you're interested in woodworking while you're here, just go browse down and see what he's doing. Usually people have no problem telling you what they're doing, kind of explaining things. But yeah, and then if you want to do any classes or workshops, or just one thing is we started doing Learn With Me's, because people aren't really, sometimes people don't want to, they don't feel like they're good enough to do class and be a teacher. But if you do a Learn With Me, it kind of takes that off your shoulders, and they help you learn. We all learn together on the subject. Like Learn With Me welding, I did once. Justin does the Learn With Me woodworking, whereas he knows like how to use the tools and whatnot, but not necessarily everything about woodworking or that specific subset of woodworking. But you all learn it together, so that's a little fun. But yeah, if you have any desire to do that, there is a teach a class form on the website. Just fill that out. It'll go directly to the calendar. Just make sure you check the calendar first, that there's not any conflicts, because it will go directly to the calendar. All right. Amazon wish list. If anybody wants to donate, we do have the Amazon wish list. The link is in the agenda, and the link to the agenda is in the Slack. So it's just kind of like another way to donate. If you don't want to donate cash or bring something in, you can always just order something on Amazon. It goes to my house, where I have tons of people around that'll make sure it doesn't get torch pirated. And we'll get it here, and just let us know if you want to let people know. Because if you don't say anything, you just order something, we're just going to say it's an anonymous donation. If you want people to know you donated, it's different. But yeah, there's a few things on there, and if you ever want to add anything, hit me up. Let me know. I can add it to the list. So moving on to outreach, this is kind of going back in the Maker Faire again, because that's, like I said, it's our biggest showcase. We're working on a project to donate toys to the kids. And basically, Justin and I, what we're doing is and we need more people involved in it, but we got this book. I brought the book yesterday, but I didn't bring it today. It's basically a book of wooden toys, a lot of those wooden toys that you pull. You got a little string on it, and you pull, and the mouth opens and closes. And what I'm doing is I'm transferring it to a CAD situation so that we can cut out a bunch of them on the CNC, but we're going to need a lot of help sanding them. And then at Maker Faire, we're going to need help with people to put them together. Because the idea is that you donate so much, and you get to put it together, and then the toy goes to the donation. If you want to keep the toy, then it's a little bit more of a donation that you have to give, but you still get to put it together at Maker Faire, because it's real simple. Just they glue together once you have all the parts and it's sanded and everything. So we're doing a crocodile and a shark. We figured those are the best for Florida. So yeah, if you're interested in that, please let us know. Let me know, or Justin specifically, so that we can get your help on it, because we are going to need a lot of help with that. I think we're hoping to get Justin, how many did you want to get? Was it
my hope, just randomly, is 25 of each one, so we'd have people working through. I have no idea what the traction at Maker Faire would be, so if we have wood that'll help us make more, great. But if we could get that, I think it's a good start. It's 50 toys that we could give to some kids, and since Maker Faire is in November, they'd be right at Christmas time. So
right. Yeah, so 50, that's a lot of sanding. There's a lot of parts. It's not a ton of parts, but it's a lot of sanding, and everybody loves sanding, right? So, so yeah, if you can help us with that, it'd be great. And then again, if you want to help at Maker Faire, basically we'll probably just have a booth set up where, or a table set up where we'll have the different options, and kids or family or whoever. This bug just loves me. Can sit down with you and you show them how to put it together. That's what it would be. All right. Yeah, I think that's what the Sandathon you put on here. So after we do a test on the CNC, we'll get the wood together somehow. We're not sure how we're going to fund that just yet. So if you also want to fund it, let us know. But we'll get the wood together and get some cut and just get it ready to go. And then we'll have to sand like crazy.
A side note to that, Adam, I just thought of this. I know a lot of people probably have little hand sanders at home. When we go to put that out there, it'll be if you have one, bring it so we can give it through more. We only got the one or two.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll probably bring something in as well. But yeah, anything, even if you have palm sander or there's that other multi-tool type sander that could be used as well. So anything really that sands, that'd be great. Bring that in, feel free. The next outreach meeting is May 1st. We would love more participation in the outreach meetings. I know they're not like the most exciting thing, especially for people that, like us, that a lot of us aren't very outgoing. So the idea of going and handing out flyers and whatnot is kind of scary, but it's something that the lab really needs in order to get that, like I said, at least get that 10 so we can be in the black. But ideally we want to be in the green, so we want more than 10 members. But we're not going to get them if we're just sitting here hoping people Google us. It does work, but not as efficient as we need it for. So outreach is basically a meeting where you can come in and just either, you can give ideas. We do love to hear ideas, but one of the things is you have to remember that if you're going to give an idea, you may have to be the one to fulfill that idea as well. So just keep that in mind. Because we get a ton of ideas, but no participation. So I encourage anybody to show up during the outreach meetings, even if you just want to sit there and listen. They're online, they're remote, so you don't have to be here. And it's good information. And like I said, you can give ideas or tips or whatnot of things you want to do. Or things that we can do to get membership going. Social media posts, for the people that know, we have I made this in the Slack channel. Post things that you make there for the new people. If you post things that you make there, we try and get those out on social media. Just give us a description of something you make. You don't necessarily have to make it the lab, because we need social media presence regardless. So, but just give us at least a little bit of description of what it is, because a lot of times we'll post pictures of things members made, and then we'll get a bunch of questions, and we don't answer them, and it looks pretty bad. So, if you at least have a little blurb about it, that'd be great. And then if you want to be tagged, let us know. We can tag you in it. That way you can answer questions if they come up, or just show off your work if you're doing it for, a side hustle or something like that might help you. All right, this is big news. The board has approved a new sign, or a sign, because something I'm sure everybody's noticed, we don't have a sign out there on the overhang. And a lot of new people that are showing up are saying that they're having a hard time finding the place. We do have some signage on the windows, and we just put up a new big one. For some reason, none of us are any good at getting vinyl straight either, so the sign's a little crooked. But we found a company. Justin did a bunch of calling around, and he got us quotes for putting up a sign. Basically just gonna say FamiLAB, have the logo on it like our normal stuff. Nothing incredibly showy or anything like that. We're thinking about getting some cheap solar lights that'll light it up at night, because we do a lot of stuff at night like today. So that's something we can look into, but just keep that in mind when we're talking about how we're not even in the black yet. This is something that, granted, half of it is being donated. One of our members is donating half of the cost, which is really awesome. Well, almost half of the cost. And then the rest is either the lab's going to have to pay for it, or we have to beg for donations for it. So we do have another potential donor that may be providing enough to cover the other half. We don't know yet. But just keep that in mind. The things that the board has to pay for like that, It comes out of the board's or the lab savings, and after so long, that savings not gonna be there. So keep that in mind. And I know there was a question. I know Dee had mentioned. I was hoping she'd be here so I can talk about this. Dee had mentioned in Slack that she has all this stuff to potentially make a sign and whatnot. And when trying to say this as nice as possible, not to sound like a total jerk, because basically we've been here for over a year now, and during that entire year, we've been asking for this to be made, and we've been trying to get membership engaged to make it. And it's gotten to the point to where now it's causing problems where we can't get new members in because it's not up there. So we're no longer going to look at trying to get members to make it. Board decided we're going to spend this money, so we're going to put it up.
And then additionally to that, that quote includes installation for us, so we don't have to try to figure out how to get up there and put it up either. So it's a combination of both.
And it's really not that much if you look at it. I think it was, what was it, 800 total, Justin?
Yeah, 8 and some change.
So, and then like I said, one of our members is donating about 400, I think, for it himself. So I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. We get one member, and because of the sign, and they're per year they're covering the entire sign. So I think it's just something that we really need to do, and it's something that we've talked about multiple times. So it's going to be great, though. We're going to have a nice sign up there. We're going to feel more official, not just walking into a weird empty place, it looks like. Anyway, before we go into discussion of upcoming and new events, the Ghibli movie night, John's running that. I don't know if you're aware of Studio Ghibli. It's, if you're in the anime, it's things like Porco Rosso, Castle in the Sky. Basically, the company that made those movies, the Hayao Miyazaki movies, he's basically having a whole marathon of all the Miyazaki movies. So it's pretty cool. He's been doing a bunch. We already did Totoro, Castle in the Sky, and a few others. I think last week was Porco Rosso. I'm going to talk to him about it though, because he doesn't put what movie's next on the calendar. He just puts that he's having it. So it would be nice to find out what movie's next. I can't tell you right now, but ask John Douglas in Slack if you want to know, and he'll be able to tell you. So that'll be April 18th at 7 p.m., which is Friday. Woodworking is going to be April 23rd at 7 p.m. Justin, do you have anything specific for woodworking this month?
Yeah, I'm actually making a mud kitchen for my niece's birthday party coming up in a little bit. So it'll be very similar to the process that you'd use to make like a potting stand, or even a raised bed. So, pretty much make a little baby table with some shelves. So should be fun.
Nice. And then we have our Fusion 360 Hangout, which is every other week. This one's really fun if you're into any kind of CAD modeling and Fusion 360, because we can pick the brains of Mike. He's one of our members, and he works in Fusion 360 for a job. So he's freaking amazing at it. It kind of makes you cry when you look at his designs, and then you're like, well, cube you just made. But it's really cool because he'll give you all kinds of cool pointers and whatnot, and you get to show off what you're making. So that's something to join, and that's just online. It's just a hangout. We don't have to be here. For all these online events, you can be here and utilize the internet if you would like, but this one's an online only, where you don't have to be here, which is pretty cool. That's April 27th at 8. Art Hangout is May 2nd at 7 p.m. Don't know if you have anything specific planned for that. I think it's just bring your own art stuff that you're working on and hang out. Stitch In is every Wednesday. That's the fiber arts people doing their sewing and whatnot. It's every Wednesday at 1:30. Outreach meeting again is first Thursday at 7 p.m. Social nights every Tuesday at 7:30-ish. Board meetings are second Monday at 8 p.m. Open house second Tuesday at 8 p.m. And the fourth Saturday at 1 p.m. That's this Saturday.
No, it's the 28th this week, I think.
Oh, okay.
Next Saturday.
Okay.
We'll be our next up now.
And then the monthly membership meetings are third Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we'll move into open discussion. I was talking to some of you earlier. Is there anything you guys are working on or want to talk about, or something you're interested in working on? What we got? Who's that? Justin has his
It was me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt in case somebody in the room wanted to speak. I just want to throw it out there. Maker Faire Miami is May 2nd or 3rd and 4th. Don't know if anybody wants to know, but I want to make sure people know about it and have a chance to go down if they want to check out a Maker Faire before November.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make it down there. With this house situation, I might have to cancel, but I'd already booked the hotel and everything. So if you guys want to go down,
I'm the same. If anybody was interested to go, let me know. It's a lot more fun with people you know, and going by myself, I'm not sure if I'll do that or just end up hanging out working at the lab. So if people are thinking about going down there, shoot me a note.
Yep. I will also do fishing down there. So if you guys are interested in fishing, let me know. I love fishing. So all right. Anybody else? Nope. Matthew? I know you got stuff you've been working on.
You mean the theme park?
No, you have all this free time that you're making stuff. I know you got. You're just saying you're working at a theme park. That's about those.
There's nothing going on.
For the new people, this is Matthew. He's one of our board members. He has been crazy busy with the new theme park.
I work at Universal, and we have things happening in So
Yeah. Mike's a contractor that works as well, so he's hit or miss around here, but he does show up for the fusion thing still, so that's pretty awesome. What's that? Yeah, he posted a picture of him having lunch with the I don't know what that was behind him, some kind of resort or something. There was a hotel. Okay. All right. Well, then we'll go ahead and conclude the meeting. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thanks for showing up online, for everybody that showed up. Thanks for everybody who came here. And that's it.
Thanks, Adam.